The abduction of young children in the UK by an estranged parent has been on the rise. In 2022, more than 500 youngsters were taken out of the UK, 7 in every 10 by their foreign mothers. And there are British mothers too. Among them, a group now resident in Northern Cyprus, known as TRNC, and so beyond international law. Some children have been taken in direct breach of family court orders, and dads have been left powerless. This father has seen his daughter twice in 4 years, and only once on Zoom. She's now 11. The moment he learned his child had been abducted is unforgettable.
So I went to collect her as I always did. Nobody came, she didn't return. We tried calling about 3 hours later, and we got an international dialing tone, which the call was ended by the person I was calling. And then we received a text message just saying, we're having a well-deserved holiday.
Within hours, police had tracked them down to Turkish-controlled Northern Cyprus. What did you think then?
Heart sank, because they were abroad in a part of the world where we know that's not internationally recognised, where people go to avoid detection, where people go to avoid the authorities.
Did you think you'd lost her?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
The mother and daughter have lived here beyond the jurisdiction of UK courts and international law since 2020. The father, meanwhile, has attended countless hearings in the family courts in England. Numerous court orders to return have been ignored, and yet he keeps a place for his daughter in the home of his second family.
We keep birthday cards, Christmas cards, all for her in the hope that she'll come back, so she knows we haven't forgot her, we've never forgotten her.
The abduction was planned as 6 years of parental legal battles reached a tipping point. 5 judges, countless hearings and more than 60 court orders could not counter the attrition between mother and father, who was ultimately granted custody. So she chose flight, Luton to Larnaca, with the help from the child's grandfather. 4 years on, when this case came to Stafford Crown Court, the elderly grandfather was sentenced to 18 months in prison after pleading guilty to child abduction. We cannot name him to protect the identity of his granddaughter. The judge remarked that his actions were cruel, callous, and very damaging, depriving a father and daughter of a loving relationship.
He's a father himself, and the fact he can show no remorse for taking someone's child and continue to put us through what he's putting us through, I've got no sympathy for him.
The conviction does nothing to bring the father any nearer to seeing his daughter. In one of the many family court hearings, it was said, the damage that has been done to her by her mother's actions is incalculable, and her continued retention in the TRNC is making things worse. The mother and the daughter, should return so that the allegations can be fully investigated. The allegations of abuse by the father were made by the mother after settling in Northern Cyprus. Multiple investigations have found no evidence, a fact acknowledged by the courts. There have been lots of allegations thrown at you by the mother, by her family. How do you respond to them?
They're just completely and utterly untrue, and I think they're just used as a tool when things are not going their way. Yes, there are cases where abuse has taken place and it's awful, and the victims should get all the sympathy and the support that they deserve, but it can't be used as a weapon for a lie to try and get your own narrative and justify your actions.
This father is by no means alone. Like others, he's had to pursue legal action in TRNC at huge cost. The Foreign Office has gone on record to him to say they sympathise, but there's little they can do.
I just don't think it's a high priority for them. I don't see how the abduction of my daughter and others, there's others out there, it's not just her, how it cannot be a major, major topic.
The Foreign Office partially funds a charity which tries to reunite abducted children with the left-behind parent.
In the 30 years that I've been involved in this field, there have been very positive changes, very positive improvements, but there's still so much work to be done. It all comes down to the child. The child is the one that pays the price in these cases, and in a lot of the cases the price is just far too high.
The mother in Northern Cyprus never responded to repeated requests by Channel 4 News to comment on her actions. To the father, his daughter is still missing.